Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome. Shabbat Shalom. If you have a prayer book next to you, we're going to begin on the top of page 10 in the prayer book. It's a Hebrew book, goes from right to left, and we're looking at the black page numbers. Hine Matov. How good it is for all of us to be together. Hine Matov umanayim. Shevet achim gam ya. How many of you know this, by the way? Show of hands. Good. Sing aloud. Here we go. Hine ma tov umanayim. Shevet achim gam ya. Oh, one other thing. As you're singing so beautifully. While you're singing, find out what page Lachadodi is on. Okay, and the first person who raises his hand and tells me what page it's on. Is it on the prayer sheet? Good. You get the first cookie at the oneg. Very good. So hine matov umanayim. Sing. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim. Shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. So now we're going to turn to the song sheet, and the first song is Lachadodi, right? Is that correct? Yes, here we go. Here we go. Oev shalom ateret bala. Are we in the wrong key? Should be in C minor, right? Nope, turn the page. That's my chart. Here we go. 2, 3, 5. Boe v'shalom ateret bala, gam berina u'v'tzahala. Okay, so now that we've got the right key, and you all will recognize this because this is classic rock Shabbat. And this is to the tune of All of Me by John Legend. And you'll be able to sing because that's the song. From the top, here we go. Boe v'shalom ateret bala, gam berina u'v'tzahala, toch emune am sekula boi kala. Boe v'shalom ateret bala, gam berina u'v'tzahala, toch emune am sekula boi kala. Boe v'shalom ateret bala, gam berina u'v'tzahala, lechadodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabla, lechadodi likrat kala, lechadodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabla, lechadodi likrat kala, boi kala, boi kala, boi kala, boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam berina אותי לקראת כלה, שבת נקבלה, לך אותי לקראת כלה, לך אותי לקראת כלה, שבת נקבלה, לך אותי לקראת כלה, בואי כלה. Shabbat is a day of rest where we are commanded to take it easy. Is that the second song? Yeah. Okay, let's sing that. Yeah. Fantastic. Thanks, Rabbi. And you all know this. You can sing it with us. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, I'm running down the road trying to loosen my load. I got 7 women on my mind. 4 that want to hold me, 2 that want to sold me. The one says she's a friend of mine. Take it easy, take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels drive you crazy. Lighten up while you still can. Don't even try to understand. Just find a place to make your stand. Take it easy. Well, I'm standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona. Such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me. Come on, baby, don't say maybe. I gotta know if your sweet love is gonna save me. We may lose, we may win, but we may never be here again. So open up, I'm climbing in. Take it easy. Yeah, that one has a switch on it, Rabbi. This is a different one. It's all ready to go. On the bottom. I don't know where you got that one. Where did that one come from? I don't know. There's one on the stand.
No, it's right there.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Shabbat Shalom. It's so great to see all of you here. Welcome to Congregational Army. I'm Rabbi Paul Kipnis, Rabbi Julia Weiss, Cantor Doug Kotler, and our band, who we'll introduce in a minute. We are thrilled to have you all here for Shabbat services. Doesn't the place look really great? Yes. So those who are guests, we just redid the floors out there. We redid the carpets. We redid the bima carpet. And we are in a newly redone sanctuary space. Is Dan here? Where's Dan? Oh, so Dan, just come out of from behind the curtain for a second. Wave your hand, Dan. Dan is our premises chair, and he's the one who made all this happen.
He's still working, Rabbi. He's still working.
We're keeping him working. And there's a prayer we say whenever we do something for the first time. The first time praying in our sanctuary, it's Shehachianu on page 344, the second prayer. 344, let's sing Shehachianu together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheanu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Thank God for giving us life, keeping us in life, and bringing us to this joyous moment. Tonight is going to be a beautiful Shabbat with beautiful experiences all around. Our 4th through 6th grade students, many of them are here. We celebrated. We were on a retreat just 3 weeks ago. In December, and this is their reunion. The teens were away at a retreat just a little bit ago, and we're thrilled to have our 4th through 6th graders and their parents. We had a whole bunch, 20 teens who went to Washington, D.C. On the Littakane program. You're going to hear about that, hear about their experiences standing up and working to change the world. We have 2 families who are here to celebrate as their children become bar mitzvah over the next couple of weeks. We'll celebrate with them. We have the band, which is named...
The band tonight, we're going to work on that, Rabbi.
Okay.
We're gonna talk amongst ourselves.
This band is so significant, and the players come from just some of the major rock and roll stuff from back in the 70s, including the guy in the back corner who looks like he was just born, 15 years ago.
14 and a half years ago.
Not 14. You're talking about 54 and a half years. He's just short.
1914.
Yes. But the band, it's so new, we haven't named him because we don't want the rest of the world to know yet until we take him on the road. It is classic rock Shabbat. What happened back in the 60s and 70s when the world was changing, there was a new kind of music that turned everything upside down as the world was turning upside down. It gave energy, it gave momentum, it pushed a generation to push the older generations to transform this country and this world. And that music we bring back tonight, sometimes using traditional Hebrew words, sometimes the actual words of the classic rock. Why? Because our teens will come and share with us how they are prepared to turn the world upside down.
I just remembered the name, Rabbi.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we're going to be called Black Shabbos.
Black Shabbos, I like this. Okay, ba-dum-bum. Perfect, I love that. Okay, we also, joining the band, we will have a number of our Madrachei Shirah, our song leaders, who will be up here with us as we celebrate, as they lead us in music. Young people who, under our rabbinic student Noah Diamondstein and Cantor Doug have been working to help us lead prayer. And in a moment, we're going to light Shabbat candles. Traditionally, you have at least 2 candles. Why? Because in one of the prayers, in the Chadodi, we sing about the commandment to light Shabbat, to keep Shabbat. In the 10 Commandments, it appears 2 times, once in Exodus and once in Devarim and Deuteronomy. In one place, it says, Zachor et Yom HaShabbat, remember the Sabbath day. In another set of the 10 Commandments, it says, Shamor, guard or protect. We are commanded to remember Shabbat and protect Shabbat, or on a higher level, particularly with the events that have gone on in this country, in the Southeast, in the last weeks. we have to remember what happens, and then we have to shamor, protect each other in our world. It's all in the how, which we can debate, but that we have to remember and protect. So we bring light into a somewhat darkened world as we turn things upside down. Let me invite up Brandon Schneider and his family, Sam Gurr and his family, and invite everyone to turn to page 2.
La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav Vitzivanu lehadlik ner Vitzivanu lehadlik ner Vitzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat
I'd like to call forward our Madrufei Shirah. The Baruch Hu, the call to worship, is on page 28. Please open to page 28, and if you're able, please rise. Turn to page 35 for Listen and Shema.
Listen. I would like to invite up all sixth graders and your Sidurim. We're going to lead in V'ahavta, which is on page 36. All sixth graders. I guess not. Okay, sixth grade Madrachim are coming up to represent sixth grade. Thank you. These are our teachers' assistants they volunteer on a weekly, if sometimes daily basis in our classrooms, and they're going to lead us in V'ahavta. Page 36.
Sixth grade Madrachim and Kane.
Oh yeah, Kane!
Our honorary sixth graders.
ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת עמם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך ושרתם מאוד על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בעיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני
We turn to page 40 for Micha Mocha, and we invite up fifth grade and the Madrachei Shira. Fifth graders. I've seen many of you, so come on up with your Sidurim, your prayer books. Page 40. I'd like to invite up Sam to help us lead. Page 44. Yep.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berith olam Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael od hi le'olam od hi le'olam
Together.
V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berith olam Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berith olam Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vaynafash Shabbat vaynafash Shabbat vaynafash V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berith olam
Shabbat Shalom.
Move to your right.
Okay.
Speak into one mic.
Let's try this again. Shabbat Shalom.
The mic will pick you up.
Okay. So my name's Steven. 3 weeks ago, I traveled with 20 of my friends to Washington, D.C. on the Lit-Ha-Ken trip. There, we visited historic landmarks, including the Jefferson Memorial and the Capitol building. And we also lobbied to Congress on social issues that we were passionate about. Through the Religious Action Center for Reform Judaism, we gave speeches on topics like immigration reform and women's reproductive rights. This trip not only gave me a look into the city that I had heard countless stories about, but also gave me a chance to share my feelings on issues that are so important to not only me, but to the country. I now have a further understanding on how we as Jews can and need to stand up for those being discriminated against. This trip allowed me to speak to representatives in government who are able to carry out policies and help those people who do not feel like their rights are being upheld. Through the Lit-Ha-Ken trip, I was able to not only get a glimpse at history, but hopefully be a part in making history.
Good job.
Alrighty.
Move to your right in front of that mic and lower it down just a little bit. Perfect. Move to your right a little bit more, not in the middle. Good.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Zeke Bryle, if you didn't know, and I went on the Lit-Ha-Ken trip to D.C. With Congregation Army. And this prepared me for the future in many different ways. First, I learned about many different political issues around the world and how they relate to Judaism. This was very interesting to me because I've never looked at these issues in the perspective they taught us. Next, I also learned how to lobby properly in order to prepare us for our speeches on Capitol Hill. But most importantly, this trip gives me more respect for people who work in government. The Lit-Ha-Ken trip has definitely made me more interested in working in this type of field later on in my life.
You guys hear me? Alright. Shabbat Shalom. My name is Ethan Epstein. My favorite parts of Lit-Ha-Ken were the Lit-Ha-Ken was so much fun. Havdalah service at the Jefferson Memorial was awesome. Meeting my congressman and talking about my topic, I feel so good about it. I like going out to dinner at the Thunder Burger was amazing. And my conclusion is that Latagan was so nice and fun. Shabbat Shalom.
We're going to continue on our song sheet, song number 3. And Rachel Sands is going to join us and sing about a heart of gold.
So I'm going to invite us. There's going to be so many speakers and so much beauty tonight. In the synagogue, let's sit with that overflowing joy. No need to clap yet. At the end, we'll clap for everybody. You feel like you want to go like this. That's a quiet way of doing it, but we'll go. I'd like to invite up now Brandon to lead us in the Avot V'Mahot prayer. Imagine, open your heart. Let the gold and goodness shine through. Let yourself be lifted up. Don't get old. But find the preciousness within your life and use that as you approach God. So let's turn to page 48. And if you're able, please rise for the Amidah.
Eloheinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yishchak, Ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, Ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
Please be seated.
We continue to pray silently. The words in your heart are those through page 60. May the preciousness in our hearts be opened up as we find our prayers.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm Bella Eccles. I think other teens should go on Litaken for the chance to truly advocate for something close to their heart. We all got the chance to personalize an issue and experience life on Capitol Hill. It feels so good to be passionate and use our own voices to fight for something. With all the controversial things happening in politics today, now is the time to get informed and use those voices. Not to mention our chaperones, Rabbi Julia, Jen Quick, Danny, and Rabbi Paul, all put in 150% to make this trip so enjoyable. My life has been forever changed, and yours can be too.
Shabbat Shalom. I'm Alex Kramer. Wow, after that first program at Latte Ken about hunger and having to act it out firsthand, I realized why they call it Latte Ken. Life-changing. That weekend not only opened my eyes to issues that I didn't even think about, it made me want to do more for my community. This trip taught me how to be an effective advocate for issues that I am passionate about. When I gave my speech at Capitol Hill about disability rights to Congressperson Ted Lieu's legislative assistant, I knew my voice was being heard. I realized I was making an important change in this world. This trip taught me so much about what is going on in our country and how to be the change agent. And on top of that, brought me closer to my temple community. I would recommend this trip to any high schooler who wants an eye-opening experience and a life-changing experience.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Shevalinik. Lital Ken has motivated me to make my voice heard. The experience truly showed me how important an individual's voice and opinions can be. Especially in the U.S., where we are privileged enough to have freedom of speech, it is important that we take advantage of that privilege. I am motivated now more than ever to stand up for my beliefs and make my one very strong voice heard. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Hannah Finkelstein. January 26th was the day I saw a different side of Reform Judaism. I met people who are changing the world this very moment. Everything from homelessness to reproductive rights. I was taught useful information. Information that mends my thoughts into ideas of change, and that I can make change. Lital Ken taught me how to combine Jewish values and my values. I want to share my information on gun violence and reproductive rights so other students can be informed, so they can help build a foundation for the world we are just starting to get to know.
Song number 4 on our song sheet. Love is but the song we sing, and fear's the way we die. Everybody sing along. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. Oh, the dove is on the wing, and you need not know why. Everybody sing. Come on now, people. Come on, people now. I'll own your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Some will come and some will go, and we shall surely pass. When the one who left us here returns for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now. Come on, people now. I'll own your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Come on, people now. I'll own your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you must understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Come on, people now. I'll own your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Come on, people now. Come on, people now. I'll own your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Come on, people now. I'll own your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Right now. Right now.
That's what peace might sound like if we each do our part and get us there. Let me invite you to turn to page 253. Even as we gather here and celebrate the joys of being together, the ability to raise our voice, we also take a moment to think about those who are struggling with illness. We think about those who are trying to heal from the trauma that they experience in life. Our thoughts turn to the other side of the country, particularly. We take a moment to think also about our loved ones who are dealing with physical illness, emotional turmoil, spiritual struggle, mental illness. I'm going to read first a traditional Misha Berach and pause at a moment, bring my hand around the room, and invite you to mention the names of those for whom you're asking for blessings of healing. The Misha Berach there is at the top of the page, and then when we're done, we'll sing a way of imagining the healing of the world, written by John Lennon. Misha Berach avotenu v'imotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu yivarech et cholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill, those we mention tonight. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimlei Rachamim Aleihem Lahachlimam Urapotam Lahachazikam Yishlach Lahem Hira Rufuata Nefesh Rufuata Guf B'toch Sha'ar Cholei Amo Yisrael. May the one who blessed our ancestors be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us all say, Amen.
The second number 4 on the song sheet.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us, only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one.
Is this good? Okay. Hi, I'm Brennan Radican. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So I'm going to warn you before I do any of this. It's really sad. So when we were preparing our speeches for the Capitol, we shared a lot of personal stories that the Litok people wanted us to put into our little speeches. In my everyday life, I come across a lot of LGBTQ plus adversity. A lot of my friends and best friends are a part of that community. So now to the sad part. My close friend attempted to kill himself after, because of the bullying and isolation in the larger community after he was raped on his way home from school. Yeah, he is openly gay and came out to me and my friends a number of years ago. I love him so much, yet his experience was very different from any experience I could have encountered. It was very intense for my friend and his family. Through this whole process with my friend, I learned that the LGBTQ plus community is not the most included community in our world. It pains me to see this because of how much I love my friend and how much they're part of the community that I built. My friend that was raped is now physically okay and using talk therapy to help with his PTSD. As Jews, we recite the Mishaberach with a prayer of healing, mentally and physically. I say it for him every time. This kind of story is not rare, but common in our community. So I was pleased to be able to advocate for him and the whole LGBT community when I was in DC. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
My name is Maya Weiss, and this is the story I shared with Representative Brad Sherman's legislative assistant on campaign finance reform. With the dream of becoming a senator, I want to ensure that I will have an equal chance of winning elections based on my merit and my willingness to serve my constituents, rather than the amount of money I can pour into a campaign. So when my AP government class began the chapter about Congress, I sported my feminist shirts and buttons to class all week and always volunteered to act as the senator during our programs. Yet, I cowered in fear during the simulation as my teacher threatened my future career with rising campaign costs and backdoor dealings involved in campaigns. I felt lost. I realized I had this big dream and nowhere to start. So I started researching why campaign costs are increasing so rapidly and followed the news more closely with NPR's Up First podcast to educate myself about the world and search for attainable solutions to this dilemma. Because as Rabbi Yitzhak taught, a ruler is not to be appointed until the community is first consulted. I feel that many of the issues plaguing our society can be remedied if we vote the right people into power so they can make the changes that we want to see. And many of them do not run because they simply cannot afford it. Bringing this issue of campaign finance reform to light also ensures that future representatives like me have an equal chance to influence national policy because of our ideals, not our abilities to make ourselves heard through money.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
My name is Amanda Friend, and I feel as though Litaken has prepared me for my future more than any high school government class could. Through simulations and workshops, I learned about my rights and how to make change in our world. Because of Litaken, I will be a more educated voter and advocate. Since that incredible weekend, I have been able to speak to my classes at school about educating yourself and standing up for what you believe in, as well as how to contact your senators and representatives, because sitting around and sending prayers and thoughts isn't what's going to make change happen. Because of Litaken, I feel more prepared to enter adulthood next month. I highly recommend taking the opportunity to attend Litaken and meet hundreds of Jewish teens from all over the country, explore our nation's capital, and attend workshops and simulations to find a topic you're passionate about to help prepare to lobby to senators and representatives on Capitol Hill, all while learning more than you ever could in your high school history class. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
My name is Emily Goldwater. Stepping on the plane to go to Washington, D.C. with some of my best friends, I was excited. But I didn't think this trip was going to change my life. I knew it wouldn't change my life. Fast forward 4 days. I was wrong. Not only am I more educated and passionate about our world's problems, I have a deeper understanding of how they relate to Judaism and how they relate to me. I also heard about the problems our nation faces from a point of view of people who experience them firsthand. I talked to a girl from Virginia who's the only Jewish person at her school. She said that her school was full of racists, sexists, and homophobes. A school where pickup is just a row of cars with Confederate flags on the back. Where feminists are very hard to find. Meeting with this girl who, despite her environment, kept advocating for reproductive choice, gun control, and equal rights was inspirational. Daily, I think about the lessons I learned at Litaken. I think about how grateful I am to live here, and that I don't have to drive an hour to Temple, that I don't have to walk into a school where I will be bullied for my beliefs. Daily, I think about the problems in our world. I research deeper into gun control and reproductive choice. Daily, I talk to the new friends I've made, and I laugh about the inside jokes we share. This trip has introduced me to new friendships. This trip has sparked a deeper passion for social action. This trip has changed my life.
Hi, I'm Ethan Cameron. As I return home from Litaken, one amazing weekend, I look out the window and my heart stops for a moment. The sun may have set a long time ago, but there is a very clear line of orange and red that filled the sky and reminded me of how beautiful Earth is. And it's not just because the sunset looks so amazing, or the fact that DC is such a wonderful city. The fact that I spent a weekend with 24 great people and met so many others that weekend. I think the fact that we all were able to lobby to Congress and take action for so many issues that mean so much to us, and that we care so much about our future of our country and our world. As I continue to look out that window, I see the pink resting on the clouds as it fades into the darkness above. I sit back in my seat and take a deep breath and realize how amazing this opportunity and weekend was. Shabbat Shalom.
Some of our 20 could not be here this evening, prior conflicts. But if you are thinking, even if you have a kindergartner in this congregation, if you are thinking about sending your children on this trip, as you can tell, many of them said the words that changed my life. I am lucky enough, one of my favorite parts of my job is that on Monday when we go to the Capitol Hill and lobby, we get to watch our teens transform not only the dress that they're wearing, because they're all in suits and really dressed up, but they stand in front of very important people and advocate for things that they are passionate about, not just from the weekend, but really in their lives. And so I'm very, very lucky to watch that happen. We send 10th through 12th graders. We had 20, we had 6 come back for a second time this year. Every year we have had teens return on this trip because they keep wanting to. Ethan, who just spoke, was one of ours who attended twice and is off next year to college. So think about 10th through 12th graders. Think about if you're coming up to those ages, or if you have kids, grandkids, friends that are interested in a 10th through 12th grade trip where they will get to see some of DC, but really the focus is on Jewish values. It's bipartisan, so a Jewish values bipartisan trip where they get to learn how to advocate for themselves and make sure their voices are heard. We highly recommend it. During our ONEG this evening, afterwards, after services, take a look at our slideshow that was prepared by one of our teens, and you can see some of the pictures of the weekend and what they experienced.
I remember back on the Friday, I think it was a week and a half after 9/11, the congregation needed to get together, needed to talk about some tough issues, but it was a family service. And the young children, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 2nd grade, had prepared. So I had to talk to the parents, but in a way that I could talk to the kids also and be able to deal with heavy issues and real life in age-appropriate ways. Today may be one of those also. Or at least the sermon I was going to give didn't do that, and so that's not what I'm going to talk about. Up above the ark, we have a ner tamid, an eternal light. We're taught in this week's parashah, this week's Torah portion, that we should kindle a light that would burn eternally. A ner is a light, tamid is eternally. It reminds us of God's presence everywhere at all times. The first ner tamid was a menorah, not a Chanukiah, a 9-candled candelabra, but it had 7, 3 on each side in the middle one, which incidentally is perhaps the oldest symbol of the Jewish people, older even than the Magen David, the Star of David. It was in the temple, and in fact, if you go to Jerusalem, there are some who have rebuilt what they think is what the temple menorah looked like. And we were to pour oil in it and keep it lighting in the center of the Mishkan, that movable sanctuary in the wilderness, as a reminder that God was eternally there. But here's the interesting thing. They didn't have electricity to keep it lit all the time. They had to time and again pour oil into that menorah, into that candle, into that lamp to ensure that the light was lit. So it wasn't just that the light was always lit, but that we always had to act again and again to ensure that our most sacred ideals, a connection to the Holy One, a connection to the words and ideals of Torah, would continue. I think about that as I think about this past couple of weeks, and really couple of months, as I think about 17 children and others. You know, it says in the Talmud, in Bavli, Sanhedrin 37a, for this reason one individual was created first, to teach that anyone who causes one life to be lost, it is as if they have destroyed the entire world. And anyone who saves one life, it is as if they have preserved the same world. It takes one person to light the light. It takes one person to extinguish a lot of lights. Each life, each young person is precious. We are taught, as it says up here, that we are created B'Tselem Elohim from Genesis, that we were created in the image of God. That means that each person is intrinsically worthy, undeniably equal, and blessedly unique. And each child has the opportunity and the possibility of growing up and doing something incredible that brings even new light into our world. Each one is a lamp lighter. And so our job is to make sure that we follow the second part of the verse, that we protect each and every light, because we are protecting and keeping the world going. In Deuteronomy, the last book of the Torah, it says that when you build a new house, you shall make a fence around your roof. Back then, on the top of the houses, there was a flat roof, and in the heat of the day, people would go up and sit on the roof. But you had to be careful, because if there wasn't a fence, what would happen? You'd fall down and someone would get hurt. So we're taught we have to make a fence around our roof so that no blood is upon our house if one falls there. We're taught that if we know there's a possibility of someone falling off that roof and getting hurt, and we do nothing about it, the blood is on the guilt, the responsibility is on the owner of the house. Not just, and all who live there. Not just the owner, but the entire family. What do we have to do to build a fence around our homes, a fence around our schools, around our churches and synagogues, around our concerts, around our movie theaters? What do we need to do to ensure that the light continues to burn and doesn't go out? How can we take each experience in our days and let it be zachor, something that reminds us that we have to shamor, guard our children and our world? Up here on this bima, you saw all these wonderful young people. They got an opportunity because Rabbi Julia and Jen and Daniel and myself, Danny and myself, we said, come to Washington. We didn't write their speeches. We didn't choose their issues. It came from in their heart. They stood up and they spoke. They're the ones who are creating fences around the roofs of our homes to ensure that our city and our country and our world will be safer. The question is, what are each of us going to do? This community, like our whole city and state and country, are filled with people with all sorts of different beliefs, all different ways of lighting the light and keeping the lights burning. We can be in this synagogue like they are out there in the world. And I can have my way and know it's right, and your way is absolutely wrong, and yours is wrong, yours is right, but yours is wrong, and so on. Or we can find a different way. we can recognize that the solution to this is not easy. But the alternative, that there won't be a ner that's burning tamid, is not an option. So let's talk to each other, not at each other. Let's figure out what we must have and what we can live with. Let's do the give and take here so that we can go out there and fix the brokenness of the world. See, all the young people, when I take this Torah, Rabbi Julia does, and we place it in your arms, we say that there's a broken world out there. Use the values of Torah to go fix it. Adults, don't make them do the work that we have to do. We adults are the ones who are taught to light the lamps and keep them going. And only when we're done, when we're old, when we're infirmed, then we let the others do it. Let's find ways of supporting the right to life and the Second Amendment, both as one. It's doable if we think it through. And so if you're interested, I have study sheets of some interesting Jewish texts to study. They're age appropriate if you're high school and older, perhaps. And for adults, I'll have them up here and you can take them and read them at home. I believe that like that little baby, Matthew, who's been carried around in there by his mom, that we'll name him in a couple of weeks or months. We're working out a time. And then in about 12 and a half years, we'll have him up on this bima as he reads from Torah. And then another 5-6 years after that, become confirmed at the end of Triple T. And then maybe stand under a chuppah and get married here or somewhere else. Grandma's already going, oh my God, I'm not ready for that. Too bad. And then go off. Let's make sure that he has every opportunity to go forward and be a lamplighter. There is no choice but that. Let's stop arguing and figure out how. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I'd like to invite up our two bar mitzvah students and Diane Gubin, Sam and Brandon and Diane Gubin to
Brandon, you're first only because you're first on my page. How's that? Okay. Brandon, Sam, Mazel Tov to you and your family. I am honored to share the bima with you. Your voices and presence brought much joy to us all. I'm so very proud of the work we do here at Congregation ORME. We have an awesome team in the rabbis, Rabbi Julia, Rabbi Paul, and Cantor Doug, and Diane, in supporting you throughout this process, becoming a bar mitzvah, in addition to learning your portion and prayers, studying daily for months, learning to read and chant in Hebrew, writing speeches, etc. Apart from all that, it's who you are and what you do. So, Brandon, you are a 7th grader at Hale, I understand, right? And I spoke to your mom, and she told me that you live and breathe football, right? And that you're a lineman and you're part of a traveling team. You're very musical. You love piano, guitar, and drum. Everything from Snoop Dogg, and then you go to John Lennon. All right? And you have been part of ORME since kindergarten. And for your mitzvah project, you had a very creative one. You worked with Miss Patty, who's very involved in New Directions for Youth. And you built a glow-in-the-dark room for Halloween, and then you were a scare, so you jumped out and you scared all the kids, right? So on top of that, you also volunteered monthly for feeding the homeless. You helped clean up the schools, and you helped out on Mitzvah Day. So great job. Thank you. Great. And Sam, you are a 7th grader at AC Stell, right? And your mom told me you're straight A's, and you're in all honors classes. She told me you're super into music also. You like all types and all artists. In fact, you're so into music that you're in 2 bands. And the first one is zero period. And so for anybody here who doesn't know what zero period is, what time does that start? 7 a.m. Okay, and you're in a, you have to be there then, right? So you're in a jazz band with drums and percussion, and then you have a second band that you're in at school too, which is big drums and cymbals, yes? All right, you like to skateboard, you're very social, and your mom told me that for your mitzvah day, you're part of Heal the Bay, so you went down to the beaches and you did pickups on a number of beaches and really helped clean up down there. So great job. So Brandon and Sam, we very much look forward to you continuing your Jewish education, especially to your participation in Tikkun Olam, helping to repair the world. We hope that you will continue to embrace Jewish values and traditions, like this accomplishment in becoming a bar mitzvah. You know, and we have great teen programs, as you found out from Rabbi Julia. With the many activities here, Orami will always be a place where you can find yourself at any age. You will always be welcome here. So here we go. We have a gift for you on behalf of Congregations Orami's Hinenu Caring Community. Mazel tov again to you and your families. Okay, great. You guys stand over here again. There's another gift.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Emily Goldwater, and I'm a grade representative for LOMTI, the high school youth group. I could go on for days about how great LOMTI is, and I know you both, and I know you guys both will love LOMTI. But you guys have to try it out for yourselves. So if we can find it, we have a certificate for you guys to come to a free LOMTI or SOMTI, our middle school youth group event.
I think Rabbi's going to give it to them at their bar mitzvah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. You guys are the future of LOMTI and SOMTI, and I cannot wait for you to experience the magic that a lot of teens have experienced before you. Come check out an event, make some amazing friends, and eat good food, and I promise you'll never want to leave. I can't wait to see you all at your first event, and good luck at your bar mitzvahs.
Mazel tov. Semen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, semen tov. Semen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, semen tov. Semen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, semen tov. Yehelanu, yehelanu, yehelanu. Ulechol Yisrael, yehelanu, yehelanu. Ulechol Yisrael.
Is there anyone, are there any math majors here, or accountants or something? What's 371 times 3? No, 371 times 3. 1113? Okay. There are 1,113 Hamantaschens in boxes of 3 that are going to be delivered to this the synagogue on Sunday at 8:30 a.m. And by 9:30, we hope that we will have 30 people who will pick up about 10 boxes, take our map, and deliver them to all of our congregants on certain driving routes. We have created, for a number of years, we do what's called Mishloach Manot. We send sweet gifts in honor of Purim to people. Unfortunately, there are about somewhere around 321 Hamantaschen that my wife and I will be eating for lunch that day.
Why?
Because I need to find about another 10 or 11 drivers who can pick up sometime. Later pickup is okay on that day. And then we give you a map that takes you about just a little over an hour to deliver to a bunch of different houses of congregants. It's a great family project. It's a great individual project. It's a great couple project, a way to spend the day. Marcy Gore, I'm going to ask you to stand up for a second. This is Marcy. Marcy is our Hamantaschen delivery maven. That means she's worked out all the routes so that there's sweetness. If 10 of you, or maybe even 12, can go up to Marcy and say, hey, I would love to do it, she'll take your information. She'll get you the route and work it all out with you. If not, The synagogue will be paying for a vacation where I can detox.
Why are we delivering Hamantash?
Because on Purim we're told to do mishloach.
Yeah, I know, but when's Purim?
Purim is.
You see how I did that? See
That
how
was good.
smooth that was?
When is it, by the way?
It's Wednesday, Rabbi.
Yeah, I know that. On
Yeah.
Wednesday, the 28th, we are having Western cowgirl Purim.
All right, so let me introduce the band, Black Shabbos tonight, and then and the reason I'm going to do that is because there's going to be a different band here for Purim. So this is the first time we've ever played together. I'm serious. These are congregants. Mark Hiskey on piano. So would all of Mark's roadies in the back row stand up? Yeah, just stand up for a brief. Get up. All right, there's Mark's family. Fantastic. Yep. And then back on bass is 14-year-old Aiden. Would all of Aiden's people, where are they? Over here. Stand up. There they are. Woo! There's Nate and David. Fantastic. And then I'm looking for a drummer, but our regular drummer couldn't be here tonight. So Taylor Dexter is sitting in. I've known Taylor his whole life. He's amazing. Now, next week is Purim, and there'll be a whole other band. The band next on Wednesday is the Chop Liver River Band. And it's going to be a country western band, and I have written 13 new songs for 13 new songs for Purim this Wednesday. And you will have to come to experience it in its entirety, but just a little taste would be here we go. Cowboy Purim, Cowboy Purim. Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey. It's traditional. Traditional Jewish music.
On Purim, the world turns upside down. Come dressed as anyone from the Old West. We are not engaging in stereotypes there. And no guns.
No guns. We're using groggers instead of guns.
Groggers instead of guns. And we will celebrate. It's a new Purim spiel written only for this with these new songs.
World premiere.
From all ages.
One night only.
One night only.
One night only.
If they don't run us out of town. And by the way, so do come. If you want to read the Megillah, we're going to have an adult Purim the following Friday, and we'll be reading through the Megillah, the story of Esther, in its more traditional form. So come to one, come to both. By the way, that song, just give me the oy vey thing again.
I hurt myself that last night.
Oy vey, oy vey, oy vey.
So there are many reasons. There are many reasons that we love this man, Cantor Doug Kotler, but we are honoring him this year on March 17th at Orami's Orami 1, our gala celebration, primarily because of that. Okay, all the other Torah and Jewish stuff he does. Incredible Cantor. Come join us on the 17th of March at the Westlake Hyatt for our Orami 1. If you haven't reserved your tickets or bought your tickets, please do so in the next 3 days, because if not, then we have to call everybody to find out if you're coming or not, and it takes a lot of volunteer hours. We'll be honoring Cantor Doug and Jody Miller. You can be a sponsor. There's going to be a great silent auction. If you're interested in sponsoring one of the things during it, Susie Gruber, raise your hand, is over there, and she's making sure that this is the most successful gala ever that will allow us to continue the great programs and work of Congregation Orami. There is so much more going on, but you can find out by reading all the information on the front desk. Notice the clothes on the hangers outside of Diane's office there. Those are lightly used clothing that's going to go to Jewish Vocational Service for people trying to get back into the job market. It looks like we don't have a lot. I will tell you that that's we've already sent 4 racks worth of clothing over, and we're going to be helping a lot of people get back into the job market, so thank you. So let's turn now to page 294.
Our thoughts now turn to those who are no longer with us. As we had lots to celebrate this evening, we are thinking about those who are not here to celebrate with us. So as my hand goes around the room, please mention aloud the names of those that you were thinking about and remembering and their relationship to you. Tonight, we are remembering. We rise together for Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yit gadal v'yikadash shemei rabbah, v'yalmad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach leolam ulmei omaya, yit barach v'yishtabach v'pa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudashah brichu. La'ela min kol bir chata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. And as we close out our service, as we traditionally close out religious school, we invite our fourth graders up, please, onto the bima. And I'd like to invite up all of our teams, 7th through 12th grade, to help lead in our Hashkivenu prayer, asking God to watch over us and shelter us with peace. Song number 6. Put your arms around each other, and we sing and pray together.
Hashkivenu Adonai Elokeinu
L'shalom. V'ha'amidenu shomreinu. L'chaim. Ufros aleinu. Sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu. Sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings.
Shelter us beneath thy wings.
O Adonai.
O Adonai.
Guard us from all harmful things.
Guard us from all harmful things.
O Adonai.
O Adonai.
Keep us safe throughout the night.
Keep us safe throughout the night.
Till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. O Adonai. Amen. So we heard from the teams about what they learned and how they advocated and how they want a world filled with light. They want their hopes and dreams to burn warmly and with hope into the future. We heard our young people as they sang and led us in prayers, whether playing on guitar or singing the prayers. And we look around and see a sanctuary filled with people who have hopes and dreams for goodness. Let's be lamplighters. Let's light a light that burns eternally. Let's be the light of our people.
In just a moment, I will invite all 7th through 12th graders. They have a program upstairs, a fun Purim scavenger hunt upstairs. And the rest of us will join together for Kiddush and Motzi in the Noshri while watching L'Taken slideshow. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom.